Oh, now we're
Hey
live.
everybody, it's Jay Johnston, the Prairie Hill Group at Remax Cabos, and welcome to the Victoria Real Estate Show. I am here with...
Okay, it's Andrew. Hi, everybody. Andrew with the Five Collective and Royal LePage. Sorry, guys, we had a false start. Jen, hello.
Jen Lowe,
Who are
mortgage
you?
broker with Dominion Lending Center Modern Mortgage Group. Nice to see you guys.
How's it going?
Good. As we were just saying, we've got a really great show for you today. We've got a great guest. We've got a great topic, so it's going to be pretty exciting. So definitely get ready, get tuned in, and take notes.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Beachlands in Royal Bay. All right, so let's get started. There you go. Our topic of the day. Jen, how's it going on the financing side?
Yeah, kind of boring, but I'm kind of liking the boringness on the interest rate side. Busy on the financing side, but no changes on the fixed rates. They're kind of in the low to mid fours. Variable rate, we've seen a few drops to prime minus 0.65 thereabouts. We've got a few lenders offering that, so that's great. What we are definitely promoting, as we don't know what's going to happen in the fall, is if your mortgage is up for renewal or you're potentially looking to get into the market, definitely the sooner the better. You can lock in a rate. It makes sense.
How long do people lock in for now?
We can do it for up to 4 months. And one of the biggest misconceptions is that if you lock in, then, well, what if rates go down? I'm not going to be able to get that benefit. And that's not correct with a mortgage broker, because I am constantly watching for that opportunity to get my clients a better rate.
So if you're looking to buy within the next 6 months, or it's not about renewal, right? Or is it?
Renewal as well. Yeah,
okay.
It makes sense to lock in a rate.
So
right.
I have a
so
question.
Definitely talk.
Sorry, I have a question. If so I want to lock in now, and then I lock in for 4 months, and then 2 months from now I buy a property that closes in 3 months, which is going to be past the lock-in date. Am I going to get that lock-in price because I've signed paperwork?
It depends on where rates are at. We can either extend that interest rate, right? So as soon as we know, I'm watching the market, seeing if interest rates they're potentially going to go up. Okay, well, let's lock in that rate now, extend it for another 3 months past. If you know that your closing date is going to be at the 2 month mark of the 4 months.
But when somebody signs paperwork, are they committed? Is the bank committed?
No, the bank is committed, but
the rate's not locked.
They will have a date that the rate expires.
Yeah,
which would be 4
That's what
months.
I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
all right.
But definitely, and you can pay off your mortgage early too, right? So, and the penalty when you're just a few months away is pretty minimal. So it might still be worthwhile. And I don't know, Jen, if you want to speak to whether or not that actually truly is worthwhile or not, but you could potentially pay off your mortgage a month early if it looked like rates were going to spike and your rate lock wasn't going to hold.
It's important to have a mortgage broker that knows the different lenders and knows how their penalties are calculated, whether they will allow you to get out of the mortgage early prior to that maturity date. All those pieces are important. And if you just go to your bank, they're not necessarily going to be proactively looking for a better, lower rate for you.
Well, the thing I see with banks, again, and this is often, this is an advertisement for you in a sense all the time when we say this, but it's so true. Banks are not thinking about their client, and they're not as invested in the success, because it's a staff person who's working 9 to 5, and the minute they're off work, they go home and they start thinking about. They're not thinking about work anymore, generally speaking. Whereas we're all cut of the same cloth, realtors, brokers. We are constantly thinking of, what do we have to do next? How do we support our clients? What's the moving parts? How do we keep this sort of all together? And our business is dependent on repeat and referral. We have to continue to give our clients good service, and give them good
Mhm.
advice. So
I'm going to argue
it's-
that.
okay,
I'm
let's
going
hear
to
it. What's
agree.
the counter?
I'm agreeing with
Oh.
you. But I also think, though, that there are people who don't realize that, like when I talk to realtors all over the US and Canada about, hey, what about this system? What about this system? But I need to generate leads. You know what? We don't, personally, we spend all of our on our clients that we currently have. Because it is a repeat and referral. So we're going to make sure they have awesome service and that they have continued awesome service, because if we don't do that, then we have to spend money on leads all the time. And so we have these realtors who spend money on leads and you know,
I'd like to think we're also just good-hearted people who want to help our clients, but it also is true. We know that this is a good business system as well. We've got a good client
just
service
saying-
because people come back.
I'm just saying, okay.
I know what you're saying. It's good.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not calculated. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Right.
it's like, if you take care of people, they'll take care of you.
Yep.
And
Good
if
people
you're
do
always
appreciate
searching
it.
for a new lead, you're not taking care of your clients.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about the 7-day Victoria Market Watch. Andrew.
Yeah, so in the last 7 days, we had 372 new listings go live, compared to 265 the week before. Again, the week before was the straddle of the new month, and it was a long weekend. So understandable, we would see less listings last week than this. We had 160 properties go pending versus 151 the week before. Again, the same argument stands. 181 price decreases versus 153. So price decreases are on the rise. And 60 expired listings versus 128 the week before. And again, that's usually a mechanism of the straddling of the month with those expired listings spike.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So the list to sale ratio is 43%. We're moving more
Way down.
into a buyer's market here. That's down from last week, which was 56.98%. And during COVID, we were at 120%. So that's just how different life is.
Wow.
Net unconditional sales this month are 107. Oh,
yeah, so far this
month to date. Sorry, that's
Yeah.
because it is July. That's from July 7th. And that's compared to 650 for the same month last year. We were at 269. So we're really going to see these numbers come up. The red lines come up. 269. So we're, I think, a little lower than we were last year, month to date at 1319. And then total active listings were up at 3,719. So that's up 400 from last year.
Yep.
All right, so the topic of the day, please welcome Craig Anderson. Hello, Craig. He is the VP of Sales from Magnum Projects. This is a project the Beachlands is a project that's happening in Royal Bay. It is the hot place, I think, in Greater Victoria right now. And tell us about it, Craig.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good.
Great.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Well, yeah, and thank you very much for having me on the show. It's been a whirlwind. I always like how it starts off 4 years ago just for Magnum. And of course, for the developer, Seacliff and Reliance, it goes back 8 years. But all of a sudden, and then it kind of peaks when the sales center opens. If you've been out there, I think, Andrew, you mentioned that you've been out to see the sales center. We'll talk about that just a bit. But what a remarkable building that's I won't even give you the price tag because it's a number I personally didn't expect. Yes. Just running off the top, as I mentioned, it's Reliance and Seacliff. Reliance, very well-known developer in Victoria. Owners, they did the Janyon, of course. They own Bastion Square, Capital Iron, and then Seacliff is very well known. Also, they're doing Fairwinds, a big, very large master plan community up in Noosa. And we have the opportunity to work with them over here in Vancouver. And just a little background on Magnum. We're a turnkey marketing and sales company in Vancouver. We do work everywhere from, I'd say, Victoria. We've been active in Victoria for about 10 or 11 years ourselves, maybe an extra bit longer when we sold to Janyan. My goodness, I'm dating myself. And we work with developers, and this is a prime example of marketing companies. Is they spend 8 or 9 years getting a project like this ready. They don't want to carry the overhead of a marketing and sales company. So of course they bring us in, and we started one of our VP of marketing, Kristen Bull. She's been riding shotgun with the two developers for the last, and OMB in Turnbull for the last 4 years, just on the full design, the layout, the branding, all of the things that you're starting to just now come see in the public realm. Yes. But have either of you been out there? I think, Andrew, you mentioned you've been out.
I've been out. It's really, like you mentioned, the sales center is just stunning, beautiful building, and whoever commercially leases that at some point is going to be really happy.
Yes. Beautiful.
And there's a little space below for maybe a coffee shop or something as well. But that
it's out for lease right now, and I know that they're talking to select tenants, but it would be the perfect, cafe, coffee, gelato. Like it is a destination, a location, and that's one thing we always saw about this is that you will have, even when you're trying to plan hours around a sales center, we were typically, Monday to Thursday and then Saturday, Sunday. And what we found is that we had to kind of think outside the box because we know people will be coming at all times, all hours. And that really forced us to open. We looked at opening September, and it was a kind of a concentrated push by everyone to get us open now, because we didn't want to miss this summer, because I think it's going to be extremely important for the people just are in the neighborhood, the walk-by traffic, just alone.
No, absolutely. And calling it the Beachlands with a name like the Beachlands in a summertime playground, really, when you've got, kilometers of beach down below, you've got, you're going to have eventually so many great amenities, restaurants, coffee shops, pubs, I believe, a little bit of everything. So you're going to have a community, almost a resort feel, I think. And it's the final icing on the cake for the whole area that's coming together. It's like, that's the centerpiece.
I feel, so I live just a kilometer away from there. And I feel that, especially that little corner building, it's a great kind of hook to bring people in, because you get the view there and you have the beach. And Royal Bay has done a great organization around events at the beach for Canada Day and other events like that. It's funny because I've been driving by there for 25 years, and I saw it as a gravel pit.
Yes.
Yeah, and you mentioned Royal Bay for just a second, and the Beachlands couldn't happen without Royal Bay. That's the truth. They set the groundwork with the infrastructure. We don't always want to throw it over the fence to them, because we are competitors. I will say that, but I have to be honest. They've done an exceptional job in that neighborhood alone, and we get to just take it to one step further. Co-competitors is a great term for sure.
That's a great word, and that's what realtors are as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. So what do you have coming up there?
So just from a very high level, it's a 130-acre site, and I'm give or take a few acres, But just to give you context, that's a third of the size of Stanley Park. So just giving you a sense of what that is. It's at 1.4 kilometers of waterfront. I know, Jane, you mentioned what is going on with the waterfront, and that is all staying as Crown land. So back to the neighborhood and inviting people in, that is part of our amenity. There'll be 50 acres of parks with 10 destination parks over 6 neighborhoods. So they've built out certain neighborhoods, and what's coming up is our first phase called Origin, and that'll be 2 6-story buildings, approximately 181 homes in the 2 buildings, inclusive of 16 townhomes. But also on the site coming is we do have a large single-family lot component. The roads will be done by October, all roads and services. So that's well underway, and we'll be managing the sales of that as well. The first 2 buildings, when you're driving along with Chosen, you will notice that they're just, I guess that would be, I'm trying to get my bearings, that would be east. Yeah, just east of the sales center. So moving down towards, yes. Unlike most projects, and this is probably the biggest difference, when we're selling pre-sale, and that's what Magnum does, that's our forte, that's our niche in the market. What we've found is that we typically have to sell half the building for the developer to get construction financing to start to move forward. And if you notice, the parkade is completely built and they're starting to do the transfer slab, which is kind of the top of the parkade, and framing as soon as like August 1st, August 10th. So they are well underway on construction, which puts the first completion, because that's always the wait, is spring of 2027. So we're moving really quickly. That's the biggest thing. So there won't be that sell for a year, start digging, 3-4 years out. We found that our target market of this buyer, they want to make a decision, they want to move quickly, but they also don't want to wait 3-4 years, because that's
Nobody wants that.
no.
If you want, I can queue up the video so people can see what you're talking about. Do you want me to do that?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Hold on one second. I will do that.
And
right
this is a
now.
master planned community, right? So
It certainly is, yes.
what what you're going to get.
Are you seeing it?
No, you got to add it to the show, Gene.
There's a very handsome guy I see. That's all. That's all I see on the screen.
Okay, hold on. I'm seeing it. Hold on a second. Why is that not showing?
So click on present instead, Jane, and add it as a presentation, please. Sure.
One second. I'm doing that.
In the meantime, let's see if I've got.
I am doing that, but anyway, hold on. Share screen.
Okay.
I'll just, if I could, Andrew, I'll add a little bit more on kind of the product mix that'll be there. Maybe that just, I'll try and fill a little bit of time. As I said, we're starting with 2 6-story wood frame buildings. There is a large collection of single family homes. The townhouses are quite exceptional. But then there'll also be low rise concrete, and it kind of expands from there. We're really excited to see how all of this evolves, because this is, probably 10, 15, 20 year build out is what it will be over time. And to mitigate construction in areas, because nobody wants to be in a job site, is that they've designed 6 distinct neighborhoods, and they'll work through the neighborhoods so they can access the site from different areas.
So is there a road going along the shoreline there, right there?
That's actually there's just over 5 kilometers of connected trails that actually connect over to Royal Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, their trail system is quite amazing.
It's showing a bit more trees than are there presently, just to be truthful here.
Yes. We will be, part of the landscape plan, of course, is to fill a lot of that in. It's been as we know what it's been for a very long time. And when do you ever get a blank canvas? In the 24 years I've been doing this, I haven't, and I've worked on lots of master plan stuff. I've never had, here, go ahead and design. And, and for us, I remember driving with John Steltveld 4 years ago in his Tesla up to the portion which almost looks like an amphitheater that cuts back up to Machosen, the high side of Machosen. We're bouncing along in this Tesla. And can you imagine having a single family lot here and a single family lot here? And what could we do in the summer? Could we do everything? I'm an old car collector, but I'm like, this is cars and coffee heaven on a Sunday morning. That's what this is. So, just at the very top of your screen, that's where we ended up in his Tesla,
right up here.
Oh, right, perimeter.
Yeah. And that's, because that's.
Please enter. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can add in the lines showing the elevations, but this is a nice little amphitheater up here.
Yes.
And this is going to be the uplands, isn't it? Not the uplands, but your equivalent of the uplands, your higher.
Exactly.
Level. Yeah.
And that's our neighborhood. And then just to the left of it, where it wraps around in kind of an S, that's what they call the scramble. So that's Colwood's version, very small version of the gross grind coming up from the water. Yes.
So for people who are not from Victoria or haven't been out there, everything, can you just stay there? So right where the intersection is to the southwest of where his little, right there, everything to the left is built out. North
all this is the Royal Bay area that's already been it's mostly built out. They're still building it out, and there's infrastructure, there's grocery, there's schools, it's quite well built out. But this side here is what we're talking about, is the Beachlands. And this is the water side of Machosen Road. It's gently sloping. It's going to be really, like, the sight lines look like they're going to be really well. They've been really well, carefully thought through. The current origins is coming in right around here.
That's correct.
Right. And it's going to be, and what I like about this too, because it's single family and residential down below here, that you're going to have a line of condos along this row, and that should block some of the road noise from Machosen as well, which is not a super loud road, but it should give a little bit more buffer.
Yes.
And then you've got some townhouses and then the single family homes, but definitely recommend anyone interested going in to actually physically see and make an appointment, go into the actual, actually call us first.
And that's where I was
going. And we'll connect you up.
That's where I was going. We wanted to get in the marketplace this summer. And when I say get in the marketplace, we're very big believers in the realtor-client relationship, and specifically in Victoria. We find that deals that are done, homes that are purchased with realtors, have a far higher percentage of not falling off through rescission. Paperwork is always dialed in when it comes to completion. The financing is in place. Andrew's talking to Jen's talking to client. Like, we have this triangulation. So the realtor-client relationship is of the most important for Magnum, and really we're there as the developer's representative. In the world of agency, we all love our PDP courses, but we act on behalf of the developer. That is Magnum's role. But we're there to facilitate the opportunity for your client to purchase. Yes, Jane, please.
What's the price range of what you're offering?
So 1 bedrooms, and 1 bedroom and dens, which run along Machosen. And we really saw that as kind of your first time buyer or your move up buyer, or even more so, it's people that are over on the Royal Bay side looking to make a change. That starts in the low or the high 400s, pardon me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're very much aligned with the pricing in the area, because as we knew, though we are on what I'm going to call the side of the street that has price elasticity, as it will over time, because it's stunning. We have to be aligned with the marketplace in our first offering. And it's important that we are aligned with the market, so people aren't making a $50 per foot jump or a $100 per foot jump. It can't work that way. Our 2-bedroom product lives in the high 500s, and then our 3-bedroom product is in the high 700s, and then townhomes start in the very low 900s. So
I like the fact you're having 3-bedroom. That's very unusual. And
it is, it is something over in Vancouver we don't see much, but the realtors that have bought clients in, they've probably been within a 2 to 4 kilometer radius. Jane, it's like it'd be, your friends, they're going, I'm future planning for 24 months down the road. I have a 6,000 square foot house already. I know what I want to do with that, but this is where I'd like to be. We've had the request for some people, saying, will you look at, or will in future phases, will there be slightly larger homes? And it's actually part of our planning process now to potentially look at not just top floor homes, but some people do like the lower floor homes, like ground level homes with great outdoor space. So just going to that product mix, we've put all of our 2-bedroom and 3-bedrooms on the waterfront facing side. And it's been, and really that product mix, and we didn't try and break the bank on price. We knew that this would be the first offering and it needs to get acceptance in the marketplace. So our big, goal right now is we have a team that's calling all realtors who are watching today. You'll be receiving a call from my team to talk about an event we're hosting on July 11th. And it's out at the site. It is kind of our first reveal to the real estate community.
I just want to confirm your dates, 11th or 17th?
17th, yes. Yep, 17th. Okay. Yep. So team will be making calls. So you will get a call and you'll be like, who is calling me? Why are they calling me? Well, it's us at the Beachlands calling to invite you. That realtor event, and it's realtor only, and I love you realtors that try and sneak your clients in with you. I love when you do that, by the way. But Saturday is the first opportunity for realtors and clients. We'll be doing a full public grand opening. I think we already have, last time I checked this morning, was it 4,400 registrants since we put signage up and running Beachlands advertising. you'll see the advertising right now switch over from Beachlands over to Origin. And that is the first two buildings. We're just making that master plan and then shifting down into the product itself. So for all of you out there, yes.
When's the grand opening?
Grand opening will be in September to the public, but this is realtor and client only all summer.
Sales have started though. You do have some properties already under contract.
We already do. We had some early adopters. There's always the friends and families and the people that are banging on the door when we're trying to paint the walls. And I wish I was joking, but it's actually happened. What's been very interesting is the friends of friends of friends. We've had 3 friends buy in a row that are on the same street. Joe and Mary talked to Pauline and Dave, and they talked to, and just works down the road. So for us, that we couldn't be happier, and we did actually expect that.
So you have 16 townhomes, and what's the price range of those?
They start at the low 900s, and there's 4 that are connected to the parkade, where you actually have parking in the underground parkade, and then we have, and they're all 3-bedroom, and then we have 2-car and 1-car garage as well. We have another 12 of those, and they would be
those ones.
$4 million.
Those ones have rooftop patios as well.
They do.
And they're not guaranteeing views, but those patios look amazing.
If you look at the top, our scale model is 22 feet long and 9 feet deep.
Yeah.
And the topography is perfect. And if you look on the ceiling next time you're in, Andrew, the way they've hung this kind of beadwork, it's in the same topography of the land.
Oh yeah.
Wow. There's little details all over the place. It is a 15,000 square foot sales center. So you just have to come out to see that, just to see the sales center itself. Yeah.
I'll be there tomorrow. I have a question. So what about the sight line for the buildings that are in the current part of Royal Bay? Are they going to be interrupted at all? Because it's going to be sloped down, right? A bit.
Yeah. So right now it looks like floors 3, 4, 5, and 6. Some on 3 will catch just the top of the townhomes. 1 and 2, 1 have beautiful outdoor space. So if you ever, if you're that person that has a dog and want to walk straight out, that's a home for you. Second floor, we always call that the floor value. That is get in, and it's just, that's where the value is always on the second floor. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are arguably get very much better from there. We've released the south building first. So that's the one furthest away. And then we'll move to the north building, most likely in the fall. We just don't want to get spread out where you've sold kind of a certain amount of homes in this building, a certain amount. We'd like to, even though we're all building at one, we release one and then we'll release another. But the townhomes, and then we'll be rolling out the single family home sales quite quickly, actually. That's also going to be a piece of our work.
But Jane, for sure, I think Jane was asking too about on the Royal Bay side, the new condo buildings are going to be going up and blocking some of the views from the other side. And that's always been kind of expected. I mean, I think it's kind of like if you was just talking to some friends about a friend about how people buy beside a tennis court and then again complain about the noise when people are playing pickleball.
When pickleball's invented, yes.
But you knew this was coming and you bought on the Royal Bay side, and there was no, there's no guarantee you're going to keep your views. Whereas the nice thing with what you guys are doing is you do have this all planned out. So from here on, from what you're building, the views to the right, to the east of this are going to be well protected.
For sure. Yes.
What I think though, so the way Royal Bay works is there's a slope. So I think what he's saying though is probably the upper floors might still have a view because they might be in line with the upper floors of the, or might be slightly above the upper floors. If they're 6 stories and these ones are 4 on the other one, it might be okay.
Potentially, potentially. And it's you are right, Andrew. That is change is going to happen. We welcome those people to come over and they can leave that home as an investment and then come and buy with us. We love all the strategies. Yes.
Right.
What are the hours of the Beachlands service sales center?
If it was up to me, it would be 24 hours a day, but the sales team has to sleep. So, that's unfortunate, but we're going to go every day except Tuesdays. We'll close Tuesdays right now because that seems to be the kind of, as you said, thinking outside the box. Wednesday right through to Monday, I think will be the dates that we're working through.
And what times?
12 to 5.
12 to 5. Okay. I'm just putting this in our chat so anybody can contact them about it and walk in. Okay.
Every day
So
except Tuesdays, 12 to 5. It's every day 12 to 5 except Tuesdays.
That's correct. Yes. And
every day except Tuesdays. Oh yeah. Sorry. Wednesdays to Mondays.
Yes, our realtor event is on the 17th. So our team will be there and really excited to kind of work through with everybody. And then clients can start coming in on the 19th. That'll be the first day. Yes.
Okay.
And as I said, it's realtor and client previews all summer. And then we'll move to more of a public kind of process in September.
Okay.
It's that's really respectful of the realtor community as well, and really appreciate that. And I know that it makes your lives easier as well when you're dealing with people who
100%.
know the process.
Yeah, we
Okay,
really are. This isn't. There's a total of 2,950 homes on the site, and we want to be partners with the real estate community. Even looking at the team we assembled, because I wanted to have what I called with the best in the business there from the pre-sale side. So they're there for the long haul. In our early conversations with the sales team, I said, I need 3, 5, 6 years commitment out of you guys. Like that never happens. I said, we'll commit to you, and I need to, commit to the project because we really want those. Andrew, you bring somebody in today and they might not be ready, but they're ready 12 months from now. I want that consistency within the sales center. And so I'm delighted we have an exceptional team. We have 2 exceptional developers we can work with, and even down to OMB, which is the architect, or Turnbull, who's doing the work. And then also you'll see all of the my friend Chad Penny at Hall Construction. They got all their equipment on site, and so it is a well-oiled machine. But I'm very excited about kicking this off on July 17th, and saying hello to you guys in person.
Jen, you want to be
that'd be fun.
You can be my +1.
I'd love to come and check it out for sure.
Okay.
Craig, do you want to talk a little more about, I'm curious about the commercial side of this, because.
Great question. So it really starts with the sales center, which we call the experience center. And that standalone building will be that initial destination where people will understand and remember to come out to the Beachlands. There will be retail that runs all the way down Beachlands Drive on the lowest floor of the multifamily buildings, and that follows along what they call like there's park, kind of the pools that drop all the way down to the waterfront. So that's a big section of parkland that runs right down in a water catchment. And it terminates down at what they call the Village Plaza. And really, this will be down at the end on top of the water. There is some great renderings of it already. We don't know the size yet. We have kind of an idea, but that will be that one place where you collect or you collide down there. And it's but I'm thinking you're going to be looking at probably something similar to the sales center, so 10, 15, 20,000 square feet alone, just at the bottom, but retail running all the way down. So everything that you will need on that within the neighborhood will be there. It's hard to speak in definition because we just don't know yet, but the buildings are planned for retail.
Okay.
I keep telling one of my clients about it. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're all, this is one of those developments where you're like, I wish I knew more people, or I wish I knew who I could connect this with. You want to be thinking about this because it's one of those ones that I've been waiting for this for a while. I really believe if it can come together, and I just, wish that, I've got to start racking my brain and going through the database going like, who can I talk to about this?
We found already just from looking at, we do a heat map of all the people that have registered. And what's interesting is it starts in Colwood, and then and now we're starting to see Calgary, Saskatoon, Manitoba. And the one connection is their kids have either gone to school at UVic or they're over here working. They're living in Royal Bay. So mom and dad want to live at the Beachlands. So we're finding the draw is as far as Toronto right now.
Yeah.
Huh.
I believe it. Yeah. Because we're now a destination, right? And we're a retirement destination. I expect you're going to have retirees there. And then they can just go across the road to the senior center after.
Yes. And then we have to also, if you look at our product mix, we know that there is an opportunity for even our 1-bedroom and 1-bedroom and den. We looked at that as I said, a first-time buyer, a move-up buyer, but then it also may be someone who's paring down. They've gone from house to townhouse to 2-bedroom den condo. Now they don't need as much. They may have a place in Hawaii or Mexico, so they go down to the 1-bedroom size. Mm-hmm. So we're really trying to be conscious, when you're future planning of suite designs, and that's the one thing we've realized now, that a little bit larger, that the market will consider going larger, and we'll look at that at every phase going forward.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming today. We really, really, really appreciate it. I think this is really valuable that people understand what's going on. I know the Colwood Community Association, in Metchosin, where I live, everybody is wondering what's going on. So they'll be excited to know that they can come and visit after the 19th if they're working with a realtor.
100%.
And yes. Oops, sorry, Andrew. Why is this not showing up? Hold on. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, the realtor is key. So for those of you who are watching the show and don't have a realtor, or have a realtor but haven't connected with them, reach out to them, have them contact us. We'll book a private appointment for you. We'd love to have you in. And plan for more than 30 minutes, because you'll stand looking at the view for at least 30 minutes of that alone. Yes.
Okay, and how do people get in touch with you specifically, Craig?
You can reach me at craig@magnumprojects.ca. I'm always here. I'm on the island right now, probably about 3 days a week too. So I know everything on the Sunshine breakfast menu right now, I can tell you. From the 8 o'clock ferry, I know them all, yes.
Well, you do have to visit the Quality Foods nearby, and there's a bar that opens up later in the afternoon if you want to join us.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I'm used to running in and out, but yeah, so they can reach me that way. And for people who want to register, they reach out to the sales team. I know all the realtors know Patty and Jackie and Sophia. I know they know them, but it's the Beachlands, the website, and they can register, and we'll be in touch with you right away.
Okay. There we go. There he is.
I'm asleep in that picture, by the way, too. I'm fully asleep. Yes.
All right.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you so much for coming today. We'll
Wonderful.
chat with
Thank you guys
later. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Craig. Nice to meet you.
All right. Andrew, how do people reach you?
Let's say that was really fun. Yeah, you can reach me. Just I'm at 250-360-6106, info@andrewplank.com if you wish to email me, and the website andrewplank.com, as well as realvibe.ca. So looking forward to hearing from you. Let's talk about the Beachlands.
And Jen.
I am at 250-217-4925. My email is jen@jenlowe.ca, and my website is jenlowe.ca.
Yeah, and you can talk to Jen about how to finance projects like this.
You bet.
Mm-hmm.
And my name's Jane Johnston. I'm with the Briar Hill Group at RE/MAX Camosun. My number is 250-744-0775. And you can email me at jane@briarhillgroup.com. Visit our website at briarhillgroup.com, or follow me on Instagram at realtyteacher_RE/MAX_Victoria or Briar Hill Group. All right. Yeah. We are on every Thursday morning at 9:30. If there's something that you want to hear about or know about, please let us know. We are happy to accommodate your needs and wants, and we want to keep you informed.
Awesome.
Right. Have a great week, you guys.
Thanks. See you guys next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.